on a strong diet of salt tablets and about to lose some 5 or 6 pounds in weight in the next 90 minutes. Here's Crystal Palace then, coming out in their new strip for their second home game of the season. But now we come to the teams for this match in the second division today. Palace, with 2 defeats behind them, now leave out Charlie Cook and have 18-year-old Keith Wally making his first league appearance, with John Jackson returning to goal. As for Middlesbrough, disappointed at losing at home last week to Fulham, they keep an unchanged side that has worked morning and afternoon all week to cut out their errors. It could hardly be a more interesting afternoon in South London, and a lot of eyes will be on that great favourite John Jackson, back in goal and looking a lot slimmer, just as they'll be sizing up the potential of striker Keith Wally, the lad from Weymouth. Middlesbrough look workmanlike. Here's Stuart Bohm, their big number 4. He'll be a problem for Crystal Palace. And then there's that competitive midfield player, Willie Madron. The referee today is Mr. Baker from Rugby, and the crowd now waits for the start. So Crystal Palace get us away, defending the goal to our right in their new strip for this season of red and blue stripes with blue shorts. Such an important afternoon for them with this unpromising start to the new season. A defeat here, 1-4 against Notts County, and then a defeat last week, 0-1 at West Bromwich Albion. Here against a Middlesbrough side that finished 4th in the second division last season, now being shaken up by Jackie Charlton, and all that means a free kick to Middlesbrough in the white shirts and black shorts, to be taken by Taylor, their number 5. Miscuing a little bit there, but it comes instead to Mills. And now Armstrong, a long ball there and a good one to McMordy, but McMordy was a fraction offside. Eric McMordy, Northern Ireland international, missed a fair part of the end of last season with a stomach complaint. Taylor back to John Jackson, and what a tremendous welcome he received, John Jackson, from this Crystal Palace crowd, having lost his place to Paul Hammond. Madron, Taylor, Madron, McMordy, and McMordy now advancing for Middlesbrough. That should be Jackson's, but he had again to take quite a challenge there from the number 8, David Mills. Young David Mills. Taylor's header, Madron's header, and Roffey's. Now Posse. And Wally getting past and playing on, says the referee, and that's a sign already, a good point in the referee's favour, that he seems to be wanting for this game to flow as much as possible. And there's a very good ball that sends Middlesbrough on their way again, and this must be a great chance past Jackson, and it's there by HICKTON. And Middlesbrough go into the lead. A beautiful through ball that left HICKTON in the clear, and as long as his pace was there, he always had the chance of beating Jackson. Well, that was a terrible setback there for Crystal Palace, really caught wide open in defence. And HICKTON, the top scorer last season for Middlesbrough, with 15, putting them into the lead with 9 minutes gone. And now Rogers. Trying one from a long way off, but no snap to it and no direction either. And Jackie Charlton, I'm sure, very relieved indeed, this new manager of Middlesbrough in the centre there, to see his side go up so early. Bell, a good header. Madron, who seems to be picking up so much in the middle of the field. And there's another long ball that will test the pace of them all. And there was almost a terrible mix-up now. Taylor finally getting it away after Jackson had come to the edge of his area, knew he couldn't handle it, and tried to head it away. Another good break there, and across this time by Armstrong. And Middlesbrough at the moment exposing so much weakness in this Crystal Palace defence. A long throw over the head of Bell. And Jackson there to take it from David Mills. Bohm giving young Wally very little scope, but here's Posse, forward for Whittle. Posse chasing after it and going after it. Now there might be a chance here, and still it's scrambling about there. Posse goes down, hope for a corner, but the first semblance, or for a penalty rather, but the first semblance of a mistake in that Middlesbrough defence. And here's Foggon now, charging away, given offside, either given offside or maybe there was a push, but in fact the free kick's given to Middlesbrough. Pity that the referee on that occasion, who has done so well with the advantage so far, didn't play advantage in that occasion. Cannon lifting himself, but it'll fall again this time for Mills, and a tremendous shot against that Crystal Palace crossbar from Mills. And again these long through balls exposing a certain amount of indecision in this Crystal Palace defence, and these white shirts of Middlesbrough pouncing on every half chance. A really tremendous shot there by Mills. Towards Whittle. Whittle taking quite a clobbering in the back from Taylor, and a free kick given to Crystal Palace. So Palace's free kick. Mel Blythe taking it. Rodgers is lined up behind it, so it might be Rodgers. Blythe over it, Rodgers hitting it and hitting it well, but a fraction too high. From Don Rodgers. Playing in the middle of the field this season. Certainly Palace can use some of the goals that he scored in the First Division last season at this moment. Making a back for Bell. Free kick to Palace. Bobby Bell with it. Chatterton's going in there, but Madron got the header. Foggen really didn't get it away. Blythe looking for somebody who might be of assistance, and Rodgers trying to get Taylor away. Back this time, Chatterton chipping it on, and another, and a good save. That time from Wally again. A bit more like it by Palace. Cannon with that header. Chatterton turning it skillfully there to Blythe. Palace may be beginning to pick it up a little bit now as Rodgers takes it on. That looked like a push in the back on Posse by Taylor. Free kick again to Palace. And referee Baker wanting the Middlesbrough wall back 10 yards, 3 men in it. Now Blythe, will he run over this ball and allow Rodgers the man to hit it? Rodgers is in fact running it over for Blythe to hammer that one too, and Platt just got a body behind it. Blythe hit that so well that Platt couldn't really get his hands to it, but he got his body behind it, and that was enough. Cannon holding off Mills. While it's given the crowd a little bit of hope as well. They're so desperate for a bit of a success here from Crystal Palace. Rodgers a little too high for Wally, and it'll come to him again. And this time an easier one for Platt to handle. Bell. Taylor away to Whittle. Back for Blythe. Played on nicely there by Blythe for Posse. Taken in his stride, and now can Wally turn this one back? He hadn't quite got the yards and the pace to do it, but he's still got possession, so all credit to the youngster for that, and a throw to Middlesbrough. And a good decision there by the linesman right in front of him, the ball just touching Wally's foot. But a lovely ball by Blythe that sent Posse on his way, and the most positive looking move that Palace have made all afternoon. Boom. Cannon's header, nicely placed there to Chatterton. Beautiful pass there by Chatterton to Posse. Now Palace again picking it up. Roffey. Played first time to quicken up the pace again. That's a fair looking ball, but Taylor was doing a good job for Middlesbrough. There's a shot by Blythe again. The back was very happy indeed to bundle away. So the confidence now coming back to Crystal Palace, but they're still this goal down. HICKTON's header, Roffey back to Jackson. In the last minute of the first half now, with a little bit of time to be added on for injuries. And it's Middlesbrough again with David Armstrong to David Mills. Roffey now for Crystal Palace. Blythe. Oh, a bad ball there by Blythe, straight to McMordy, and now to Craggs, back this time for Stuart Bone. HICKTON. Taylor in danger of giving that to McMordy, but now galloping away for Crystal Palace once more. Chatterton to Blythe. Palace with a lot of men pushed forward now, including Roffey on the far side, the fullback. Crying out for the cross though, here's Rogers. Instead trying a 1-2 with Posse, brought down and a free kick. Right on the edge of that area. And it's always seemed likely, I must say, that Taylor is going to do that sort of thing. In fact, Taylor being booked. He snapped once or twice behind and Whittle from behind. He's had a go at Posse once or twice, so I'm sure that it's probably the cumulative effect of those tackles and not just that single one that has caused referee Baker to put the Middlesbrough number 5's name, Brian Taylor, in the book. Well, it gives Crystal Palace an opportunity right on half-time to pull back this Middlesbrough 1-goal lead. Don Rogers entrusted with the kick. Chipped too high. Disappointment there from Don Rogers as the pack comes out again from that Middlesbrough penalty area. As the whistle goes for half-time, an unsatisfactory one for Crystal Palace. Jackie Charlton going in now to the Middlesbrough dressing room. I would have thought well satisfied with his team's performance. The only goal of the first half scored by John HICKTON after 9 minutes, putting Crystal Palace behind. Still to come on the big match today. A sight of this super lead side against Birmingham City, and plenty more beside with Brian Clough, Malcolm Allison and Jackie Charlton. The half-time score here at Selhurst Park reads Crystal Palace 0, Middlesbrough 1. We'll bring you the second half in a couple of minutes.
The next pip is a 15-second roll for part 2.
Welcome back then for the second half. Malcolm Allison in the shirt sleeves on the right, a man at the moment with problems, as Middlesbrough kick off defending the goal now to our right. That 1 goal up, scored by John HICKTON after 9 minutes. Roffey. Spraggan. And now Bell. High towards Posse. Oh, Posse causing a little bit of trouble there. Whittle now, is this a good chance for them? Whittle! And it didn't quite cross the line. It did not cross the line, and the linesman was beautifully placed there. That looked odds on Whittle getting the equaliser. And Roffey turning it across again. This time Willie Madron calmly getting it away to Armstrong. That really was a great chance for Palace, and they didn't take it. Some good reactions in that Middlesbrough goal, though, by Jim Platt. Bohm, a good header. Spraggan having a quick look round to see who was close at hand, and nobody was. Well, Palace thought about playing an offside trap there, but Tony Taylor in the very last, his nerve failed him, and he came back and put this fellow Mills onside, and the ball comes across behind. But in fact, a free kick. There was an infringement there, giving Palace the free kick. But he played very well there, Mills. Goal kick not taken from, in fact, not going outside the penalty area, has to be taken again. Roffey. Well, the crowd weren't happy with it, and I'm pretty sure Bill Roffey wasn't happy with it. Bell getting in first. Rogers. So few glimpses of Rogers this afternoon. Whittle. Played nicely there for Wally. Now, what can Wally do? Hit it first time, and a good save by Platt. Well, the fellow showed a lot of skill there. Sized up all the opportunities and then tried to curl one just inside the post. Taking on all comers, and there are 4 of them there, and they beat him by sheer weight of numbers and find Don Rogers. You get the feeling that if Palace could get a goal, then they might get another one to go with it. Their confidence is rising all the time now, but they won't with a pass like that, which had really no chance at all of getting through to Wally. There's a nice little pass there by Armstrong, and Palace a long time covering up as Mills goes through. And they were very lucky indeed, Palace there. That glanced off Jackson's body as Mills went through, just behind for the corner. But they allowed him so much time. It looked as though they were going to let him go through and have a shot with as much time as he wanted. David Mills, his big Taylor up again. Stuart Bohm again staying back, leaving it for Brian Taylor to come up and take the near post position. As McMordy will take the corner. Curling in again, Jackson's got to go for it, shouting all the while. Blythe. And Taylor away. Blythe again. Played for Roffey. Good piece of shadowing here by Armstrong, though, not letting Roffey get away. Mel Blythe. That's not a bad cross either. But Craig's no goal! Well, that'll do it. It was a funny old way to get an equaliser, and John Craigs, that long cross from Mel Blythe came over, and Craigs, in trying to get it away, just touched it past Jim Platt and into the goal. 1-1. Well, Palace have fought hard for an equaliser. They could scarcely have thought they were going to get it that way. So the Middlesbrough defence that have made so few mistakes all afternoon make the biggest one of all. Well, that might lift Palace a little. Free kick again now to Middlesbrough. Well, I know someone who's breathing a little easier now. So Craigs with the free kick, the man who gave away the goal. The little cross there as Madron goes in, and Bohm wasn't very far away from getting an open shot at goal. And Middlesbrough get a corner, and Jackie Charlton's heart beginning to beat a little faster now. Well, there was a bit of a slow hand clap around Selhurst Park a couple of minutes ago. That has been silenced, and certainly a slow hand clap in Palace's predicament is not going to help anybody. Fogan, though, with the corner for Middlesbrough again. Whittle right back to help out, and Rogers getting it away. Taylor. And the crowd now beginning to get behind this Palace side. Poss's header. Wally. Roffey. Blythe. And Wally couldn't quite get up to it. Taylor getting it away. A jump there by Cannon. And another one by Chatterton. Fogan to McMordy. HICKTON is onside, put onside by Cannon on this side of the field. And now HICKTON on his way again. Taylor coming back, and a great goal! Beautifully played there and scored by Mills. Mills, the scorer, putting Palace behind again. Well, they gave HICKTON so much room down that right that they really paid for it. HICKTON kept his head well, and Mills was beautifully on the spot. 2-1 to Middlesbrough. Well, the very last thing that Palace wanted to happen, they wanted a chance for their confidence to continue to grow. But certainly is some superb play there by HICKTON, who kept his head so well, and Mills, who really came diving in. So 2-1 to Middlesbrough, and Palace have got it all to do again. Well, it really was some lovely play by HICKTON, although he must have welcomed the open space that Palace allowed him. So Palace now with a little over 20 minutes left. And a goal kick. Well, the crowd really been silenced by that excellent Middlesbrough goal. Mills, the man who scored it with that header now for McMordy. And there's Mills again, trying to get in behind that Palace defence, but stumbling, and a goal kick to Crystal Palace. Chatterton, and in went Armstrong, and a handball given against Bobby Bell. So another free kick to Middlesbrough. Someone who will be very relieved is that number 2, John Craggs, the man who put through his own net. So the Palace wall with 4 men in it. Craggs playing it for Mills, hit across that goal, and this could be number 3. Fogarty is there, Jackson is all over the place, and it's Taylor who puts it in. And now Palace are really in the most terrible trouble. They really exposed themselves with that free kick. And Fogarty, after Jackson had only half stopped it, turns it into the path of Taylor, and that makes it 3-1. Minutes to go, and Middlesbrough now looking very, very happy indeed. And Palace, 4 goals conceded on the first day of the season, 1 last week making 5, 8 conceded, and 2 scored at the moment, 1 of them an own goal. And on the afternoon then, Middlesbrough leading 3-1 as Spraggan takes the throw for them. Fogarty, who made that goal, now trying to get around Mel Bly. Spraggan with a chance to cross this one, and Mills is waiting there again, and now it's Rodgers. But unfortunately he's pulled back. Shame there that the referee, Mr. Baker of Rugby, who's handled it so well, didn't allow the advantage. Whittle, Wally and Chatterton. Bill Roffey. Whittle. Comes to Roffey. Posse going in for this one, and Platt was there before him though, and Fogg on the overhead. but only as far as Cannon. Palace now with everybody forward. Cannon included. And a goal! Oh yes! Now whether that was Cannon's or whether that too was a deflection off Bone is hard to say, but the goal counts. The Palace players are saying well done, Jim Cannon, and I think we've got to give him credit for it. Certainly Cannon's cross shot, eluding that Middlesbrough defence, maybe the tiniest deflection, but into the corner, 2-3. Well, Posse needing a bit of attention, and a Middlesbrough player behind him also. So Tony Taylor and Alan Whittle scheming things now with a little over 10 minutes left. Can Palace yet save it? Well, Taylor's all right. And we are now left with a fraction over 10 minutes, with Palace having pulled back to 2-3. Taylor back to Jim Platt. Roffey again, going straight through Spraggan. Little lucky to find the ball again, but now Armstrong. On for HICKTON, now is this number 4 for Middlesbrough. Still with HICKTON, and in goes Bell. And if HICKTON had but known that the ball was a fraction behind him, no penalty, although the Middlesbrough man fell. And Palace really have got to make every possible chance count now, and that was one that was wasted. It's beginning to look like 3 games and 3 defeats for Crystal Palace. So little time that's left. Roffey with the throw to Cannon. Surely they've got to pound the ball as quickly as they can now into that Middlesbrough half of the field and hope for a mistake from